It is like 100 degrees in my room, and I have to close the windows because the airplanes, and at this time of the day, I like to record during the daytime when the sun is bright for that good lighting. All the kids are out and they're playing and they're having fun, but you can hear the through my window. So I have to close my window and it gets so hot in here. So I'm gonna try to make this video super quick. Always to start off my evening, my afternoon, I made myself a mocha, and this has been my go-to drink lately. Sometimes I put a scoop of ice cream in it and it's so freaking good. Sprouts started getting this new coffee cold brew ice cream, so now I just put it in my coffee and I'm just so addicted, but I ran out and now I'm like, oh my god, I miss it so much. My husband works at Blue Bottle. Thank you, Lord. Their espresso, the instant espresso, is fire, honestly, because I'm always iffy about instant espresso. Sometimes it just doesn't hit as actual espresso, but this one, oh my god, I'm like in love with. So I thought I would do this video because I always get asked this question of how did I started going vegan? How did I stay vegan for so long? What did I do when I first started going vegan? What did I eat? What stuff do I make now? Some people they want to try it out and they're just stuck at what can I eat? And I know it's sometimes hard because you're just so used to eating animal products that you're just lost and don't know what to eat. To me, veganism is all about the animals. It's purely about the animals. I went vegan because of the animals, and that's it. I didn't care about my health. I didn't care about the environment. Not that I didn't care about it, it just wasn't really on my mind that much. I was purely just thinking about, I just don't want to eat animals anymore. So that's kind of why I went vegan. I was trying to eat healthier. I was thinking about that, but honestly, it was just the animals. I just didn't want to eat them anymore. So I thought I would do this video of if I could go back in time, things I would tell myself in the beginning to help me and motivate me and things like that. I think I should start off with the best tip that I can give someone who probably just wants to eat more vegan foods and isn't even thinking about going fully vegan. So there is no such thing as a perfect vegan, and I think you're gonna just stress yourself out trying to become a perfect vegan. There's a lot of brands that are not vegan, clothing and makeup, and a lot of foods that you think are vegan and they're not vegan. So you're gonna mess up a lot and you're gonna do things that are not vegan, and it's honestly, it's okay. I think if your heart is in the right place, you want to be vegan, you're thinking about it, or you're thinking about wanting to consume more vegan plant-based products, then that's enough. You don't have to overwhelm yourself. When I went vegan, I had some vegan docs that weren't vegan. They were the red ones, and I had 2 pairs, and I didn't like having them. I hated when I would wear them. I felt like a poser. I don't know how to say it, and just beating myself up for that, which is really dumb. I got them a long time ago before I even thought about veganism, and I did end up donating them to a thrift store. They were really cute. And just don't beat yourself up for it. If you have things that are not vegan, like leather, don't beat yourself up. Still to this day, I'm not a perfect vegan. My husband always tells me check the ingredients even if you think the brand is vegan. So that brand, Unreal, they make the vegan M&Ms. I thought that brand was fully vegan because they have a lot of vegan chocolates. So I got I don't know if it was the Snicker one or the coconut one. I don't know. They have a bar one, and I bought it, and my husband's like, did you check the ingredients? And I'm like, no, they're vegan. He's like, I don't think so. They've never, they don't claim to be a vegan product, like just a vegan brand. Then I checked the ingredients and it had milk, and I'm like, oh my god. And I'm like, that kind of sucks. So even to this day, I do it, and I just don't care. I'm just like, okay, whatever. I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, I just learn and I get over it. It took me over a year to go fully vegan. I did it the opposite of a vegetarian. I gave up eggs and milk first, and then seafood, and then chicken, and then red meat. That was the last thing I gave up. I went backwards, and it took me over a year to do it, to go fully vegan, fully commit. And yeah, you don't have to do it overnight. It'll just come to you. You can still be everything vegan and eat milk. Drink milk or eat eggs. Just do it. Who cares? Everyone is always gonna have something to say. I feel like even now, as a vegan of almost 10 years, someone's gonna have something to say. So if there's something you really like and you don't want to give up, because a lot of it is socializing. we eat and we socialize. We like it. I understand it sucks being the one not being able to eat something. It doesn't suck for me now. I really don't care. It doesn't affect me, but someone who's not used to it and new to it, it's different. It sucks. And just take it very slowly. Bring a side dish that's vegan and then eat whatever they have. To me, that's better than not eating any vegan or not even thinking about veganism. That's better than that. So to me, I'm like, hell yeah. That if you're just having one vegan dish, I'm like, hell yeah. To me, that makes me happy. Now, there's a difference between veganism and plant-based. Okay, veganism is like you're fully for the animals, everything about the animals. This is purely for them. And that's what I am. Okay, I can care less if I'm not healthy. If I eat more junk as a vegan, I'd rather not eat animals. And then there's plant-based. Maybe you just want to eat healthier and put more vegetables and fruits and whole grains and whole foods in your life and less animals. And honestly, that's okay. You don't have to be a full-on crazy vegan. You can just be a plant-based, and vegans, we still like it. I still appreciate it. I love it. And another thing, veganism and health are not the same thing at all. Okay, they sometimes go together. Okay, I have a lot of vegetables in my house. I have a lot of fruits in my house, especially with 2 kids. I have a lot of it. So if I'm eating a big ass salad, they're eating a big ass salad. And if I'm eating fruits and vegetables, they're eating fruits and vegetables. I don't have chips always in my house. I don't always have ice cream. I don't always have snacks. So I am that vegan that tries to be like, okay, today we had too much junk. Let's have some greens and some good food for dinner. So I try to balance it because they're not the same thing. If I eat everything vegan that's processed, I'm not gonna feel good. That's just the truth. They're two different things, okay? I'm all about whole foods are always gonna make you feel better. Vegan products, the vegan, processed foods is the fun part. That's just fun. There's healthier ones than others, but they're two different things, okay? They're not the same thing. If you go vegan, doesn't mean you are gonna be way healthier if you're just replacing it with vegan junk. That's just not gonna happen. And to me, if they ask me how can I eat healthier, I'm not gonna tell you to replace your meat with a vegan meat. I'm gonna tell you to replace a meal with a fruit meal. Just pure fruit. Have big watermelon for breakfast. At dinner, instead of having a pizza, have some greens, a green, and I don't know, tofu. So that's just my experience. If I eat vegan junk, I'm gonna feel like junk. So when you go vegan, if you are the only one that you know that is vegan, it is very hard and difficult. It took me over a year to go vegan, and luckily I had my 2 cousins who would go with me to try new vegan restaurants and try vegan food. So I was blessed to have them because they knew I wanted to be vegan and they would try vegan food with me. I wasn't fully vegan, but I would go to vegan restaurants and at home we would buy vegan stuff to make, and that's how I started. And they weren't awful about it. They wanted to do it with me and they didn't mind eating that with me. And I'm so blessed to have them. So if you have some people in your life that are like that, be surrounded by them because it really helps you just get there faster. Find people around you that are in the same page as you or are open-minded. And if you have no one in your life that is like that at all, no family or friends, then there's a lot of people on the internet that are probably just like you, that are probably in the same path as you. And even that is comforting and it'll give you motivation and clarity and set you in the goal of becoming vegan or eating more vegan things or plant-based products. Like I said, it took me over a year to be fully vegan. When I met my husband, he had just became a vegan. Well, when I started dating him, he had just fully became vegan. He was vegetarian and then he went vegan. So I went vegan pretty quick after that because when I wanted to go vegan and I was dating someone who was vegan, it was easy. I didn't have to convince someone to go to a vegan restaurant. He wanted to go to a vegan restaurant. So that's what pushed me. My cousins, who I hung out with the most, didn't mind eating vegan with me. And the person I was dating was vegan. So I just went vegan. There was no reason for me to not be vegan if I really wanted to. And I remember the day that I stopped eating an animal. I remember it so clearly on purpose, okay, because I've had mistakes. So at my old job, there was this burger that was my favorite burger. It was so good. My favorite burger of all time. And I got that burger for lunch and I took 2 or 3 bites and it just didn't hit the same. It didn't give me that same satisfaction. I felt gross. It was like asco. you know, like disgustingness. Like I just felt gross eating it. And I remember looking at the burger and just being like to myself, like, yep, this is the last this is the last animal I'm gonna eat. This is it. And I just put it down and that's it. That's the last thing that I ate. Okay. I've had accidents, but that was the last animal I ate. I didn't force myself. It just felt natural to not eat it. I just couldn't eat it anymore. And that took me over a year. I was already dating my husband at the time who was vegan. He knew that I was trying to go vegan and he never pushed me. He never told me like, well, you should be vegan. Never, ever, ever. On our first, second, I don't know, date, I went to the movies and I got myself M&Ms and I was like, oh, you want some? And he's like, those aren't vegan. And I'm like, really? And I don't know why, like, I know they have milk, but it didn't cross. And I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I felt so bad. I'm so sorry. Like, I felt stupid. He's like, oh no, it's okay. Like, I felt really dumb offering him M&Ms, and I just stopped eating them. I was like, okay, no. And that hit me too. Like, there's a lot of things that are not vegan that I need to do my research because I loved M&Ms. I mean, now there's you can find vegan M&Ms, but you know, I was like, oh my god, I gotta give up M&Ms. I didn't think about that. I was sad when I learned how to give up honey because I would put honey, you know, in my like yogurt with fruit, all that stuff. I would use honey. And then I learned about agave and I quickly forgot about honey. Okay. Agave is like my life. So you're just gonna find those things that are so good and just stick to them. The last one is the trickiest one, my last tip, and that is having arguments with people about veganism, especially when it's friends or family. I personally just avoid them now. If I'd go back in time, I would tell myself just ignore them. If someone is just trying to win, they don't even care about facts or what's right or what's wrong, or they don't really want to hear you out. They just want to be right and stubborn. Don't have those arguments. If they're like, well, you should, I'll just be like, I just kind of like, I don't even, I just brush it off. It's not worth it sometimes. When someone is interested in really asking me a question, oh, but like, what about this? Like, you think they're just interested? They want to know what you think. Then I'll take my time to tell them a little bit more and have a discussion, not an argument. Those people just ignore. Even worse, if they're not your friends or family, just random people, like, bye. Don't waste your time. And just remember that it's about the animals. It's all about the animals. You shouldn't feel bad for not wanting to harm a being. You shouldn't feel bad for not wanting to harm a cat. You shouldn't feel bad for not wanting to harm a bird. Like, you shouldn't feel bad for that. Another thing to remember is that veganism is love. If you practice veganism, I think you need to practice loving people, loving animals, loving everything. Okay, so hopefully I remembered everything I was gonna say. And if not, I'll probably write it in the comments or my description. And if you have tips, put them in the comments for someone who's trying to go vegan or thinking about it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.